Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll be doing the full review for the Samsung Galaxy S23 smartphone. And just about a week to 10 days ago I had actually reviewed the Galaxy S23 Ultra, and many of you asked me how does the compact S23 fare, and luckily actually Samsung just actually launched a new color variant. This is the new color that is the lime, and I thought why just do the unboxing of this. As I was traveling also, I thought why not I use this device for a week or so that I can give you a review of the S23, because now this smartphone has matured, it got all the updates and stuff. So here is the new color, guys. In fact, if you notice, the box is a little bit different. It has this multicolor. Earlier I also had the regular cream version. If you notice, that one is this one, the cream version, and the new color, this one is actually known as the lime color. So this is the one that I used for over 7 days now with my primary SIM, and yes, again it's exactly the same as the regular version. This is the cream one, but now I'm happy that Samsung, at least on these flagship series, is also bringing out those new funky colors like we had for some of their other series. So it's nice, for a lot youthful color, I would say. Anyways, coming to this device again, guys, this is a review unit that was sent to me by Samsung, and in the notes they also mentioned that the pricing and stuff. So I'll just talk about the pricing first. This new S23, what do you say, the base variants that comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes will start for 74,990, and that's almost 75,000. But as of now, you do also have a HDFC offer on this one. You get 5,000 rupees off, so effectively it works out to about 69,990. But again, they're also having one more offer. If you exchange their existing smartphone, you can get up to 8,000 rupees extra. So if you combine that HDFC offer and stuff, it works out to about 61,999, and they also have some EMI offers. Anyways, now let's drill down what I liked about this device and what are the things that I did not like. And many of you were very curious about how is the battery performance of this one, because it's a very compact phone. So again, I'll talk about the battery stats. And in fact, for 5 days continuously when I was traveling, it was exclusively only on mobile data, that is 4G and 5G. I had traveled to Pune and also a place near that. Luckily I was getting 5G speeds even in Pune and around that area, and I was using my primary SIM, that is Airtel. Okay, the first thing that I liked about this device is that this is having that 6.1-inch screen, and I loved how compact this phone is. Though it's a very powerful phone having the cutting edge processor, this felt so good after the regular bulky big phones that we are sort of used to it. To give you an idea, this is the S23 Ultra and this is the S23. Okay, coming to the first thing that I liked is the compact form feel of this. And again, this is a solid phone. It does not feel, though it's a compact phone, it's delicate or something. The build quality is again excellent on this one, and I like the fact that both the back glass and the front glass are having the Gorilla Glass Victus 2, which is the best protection that we get as of now. And I like the in-hand, and this is truly a single-handed device, as you can reach the entire device with a single hand. It feels actually very good in the hand. Of course, it's a Samsung AMOLED screen, and the screen quality is again very good. Even outdoor sun, bright sun and sunny, this can also go in actually pretty bright if you keep it on auto brightness, 1750 nits. Even when I was taking photographs in bright sunlight, I didn't have to squint. It was easily visible. Again, the screen quality is very good on this one. Next thing is regarding the UI, and again this is very similar to the S23 Ultra. We are having the new One UI, and it performs very well on this smartphone. Very smooth, 120 Hertz. I've kept it on adaptive adaptive, so it's on 120 and very smooth. No lag or anything or jitterness that I noticed on this smartphone. So that way I would say the optimization has been done very well. And even though this has just 8 gigabytes of RAM, the RAM management was also done very well on this phone. The apps that have to be in memory were in memory, didn't get booted out. For example, stuff like Truecaller and other things like MyGate, etc. These are critical apps that have to be in memory. They were not booted out. So that way I would say the RAM management was also done very well. Also, I like the fact that when I came back after this trip, obviously I've kept it on Wi-Fi at night, and when it's on Wi-Fi at night also the idle drain is low. I'll talk about the battery life and I'll show you the stats later on. But overall I would say in terms of the UI and all those things, it's actually really good. Yes, as it's a Samsung phone, you have a bunch of Samsung apps, but again that's what you're getting because it's a Samsung centric smartphone. Regarding the call quality, I did not have any issues. The earpiece was good, no proximity sensor issues or anything like that. Even on roaming, I did not have any network issues. So that way you are sorted. The earpiece is actually loud and clear, and even the speakerphone is decent. I did take actually quite a bit of calls via the speakerphone. In fact, I also did a video meeting with this one on Google Meet on 5G when I was traveling for about 25 minutes, and the experience was good. So that way, in terms of the reception and all those things, I do not have any issues. If we talk about the processor, this is having the latest Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 2. And this 8 Plus Gen 2 is a custom processor made by Qualcomm, specifically for Samsung. That's the same processor that you get even on the Ultra. And I have to say, the performance is brilliant on this one. And that's why I think so. Even though this is having a 3900 milliamp hour battery, the battery life that I was getting on this smartphone is actually really good. Let me actually show you some of the stats now. And again, if you notice, when I was traveling, and again, it was continuously on mobile data. I didn't use actually Wi-Fi for the 5 days when I was out, and mostly it was on 5G because in Pune I was getting 5G. And if you notice, it was off the charger for 1 day 13 hours. That's almost 1.5 days, and had a screen on time of 5 hours 8 minutes on this one. So even on 5G, actually the performance was good and the standby time was very good. Yes, you can get 5 hours of SOT on other smartphones also, but the standby time will not be this good. So that way I was actually very surprised with this one. And if you notice, this is another day, again similar results that I got, 1.5 days of usage. So even while I was on mobile data, that is on 5G and 4G, the battery life was good even at the end of the day. And it was a heavy day, we were just moving around the functions and all those things, snaps and stuff we were taking. Then also at the end of the day, I generally had between about 25 to 30% battery life. So it didn't give me that battery anxiety even when I was continuously only on mobile data. Of course, if it's a mixed situation like what most of you will be when you're in your house, etc., you'll have Wi-Fi, maybe in the office. So maybe if you are like, let's say 65% on Wi-Fi, then the battery life will increase further, and you can expect a SOT increase of about 1.5 hours. So in terms of screen on time, I would say even on mobile data, I'm actually very impressed. You don't have to very many of you were asking me how would it perform in outdoor conditions, and here I would say the battery life I'm getting is pretty good. So expect, I would say, if you're just mostly on mobile data and stuff, expect at least about 5 hours of SOT to 5.5 hours of SOT. But if it's a mixed scenario, then I would say you can get as high as a screen on time of about 7 odd hours on this smartphone. So that way, in terms of battery life, because of the processor, the battery life is actually really good on this one. Okay, moving to the next thing, and some of you have asked me, was there any overheating issue on this smartphone? And luckily, no overheating. And again, that comes down to the processor on this one, the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 2, and the optimizations that Samsung has done. The only place where I noticed it got a little bit warm was when I was just shooting continuous photographs in hot sun. It got a little bit warm, but again, that's normal, I would say, because it was summer and almost 38 degrees, 39 degrees, and just taking snaps. But apart from that, in normal usage, I have to say, It's very cool processor. There is no issues of overheating or anything on this one. Stereo speakers are actually good on this one. Let me actually show you. Let's just go to the copyright free songs. And even when I was taking calls on via speakerphone, it was good experience. Let me just increase the volume. Actually pretty loud, as you can see. And apart from this, you do also have all the, again, this is a flagship, so you even have Dolby Atmos and all this thing. By default, Dolby Atmos is disabled. I don't know why. Just enable it, and it gives you a slightly virtual experience with the speakers also, not only the earbuds, but the speaker. Talking about the earbuds and Bluetooth connectivity, here also it was very good. This has the latest Bluetooth 5.3, and if you see, I tested it with quite a few Bluetooth headsets, and even I connected it to my car and all those things. I did not have any problem. Android Auto also worked without any issues. That way, I would say in terms of connectivity, I did not have any issues. Bluetooth connection was also very good. And this is a triple camera setup that we are having. The main camera is a 50 megapixel. Of course, it has OIS and all those things. Then we have a 3x actually zoom, that's a 10 megapixel, and 12 megapixel is that ultra wide, whereas the front facing camera is also a 12 megapixel. And here are some of the sample shots that I have taken with this smartphone during this last couple of days. And as you can see, outdoor shots actually come out very good. Some of you were asking me how is that. These are the samples, raw samples that I have taken, and I'm just sharing it with you. And I did not have any issues with the pictures that I took with this one. Coming to human skin tones, those were also produced very well. And I also like the portrait mode. By default, the portrait mode will zoom in 3x, and this looks actually pretty cool, but you can also drop down it back to the 1x, and as you can see, the samples come out actually very good. And here are some of the samples taken in night conditions, and guys, these are super low light conditions. In fact, the pictures look a way brighter than what it is. And I was very happy with some of the shots that came out in this very low lighting condition. So in terms of camera, I would say again the camera performance was very good. Also, coming to the video, it can shoot 8K, and even I took this video while we was in the car in 4K. And notice, though we were going at very high speeds, about 90-95, the video is actually very stable. So that way, I would say the video quality is also very good with this smartphone. Now let's talk about some of the cons, and I would say some of these are sort of nitpicking, but let me just go with that. And I would say, yes, I like the 3x optical zoom camera, but I wish instead of 3x, if they would have given 5x, it would have been a lot better. But yeah, it's just me nitpicking, I would say. Next thing is the charging speeds. Again, we don't get the charger in the box. I wish Samsung bundled a charger in the box. And the charging speeds are okay. I did charge it because I had a 25-watt Samsung charger with me, and the charging speeds are decently fast. But again, these are not as fast as some of the other competing Android smartphones. I think so. When it was just about 2%, I kept it on charge with the 25-watt Samsung charger, and it charged in about 1 hour 12 minutes. So it's not very slow, but again, it's not the fastest also. I would say the default keyboard, I changed the default keyboard, and this is the Gboard keyboard that I'm using because I was having a lot of typos with the default Samsung keyboard. Maybe just because I shifted from this largest screen size, but again, with the Gboard, I would say the predictions and stuff are a lot better. But apart from that, overall, I have to say, if you were always looking for a compact Android flagship, we have that finally with the Galaxy S23, and you are actually not compromising on it. Though we are having that flagship processor, the battery life is good, and again, it's a very compact smartphone. So if you were looking for a compact size smartphone, you can definitely have a look at this. In fact, a couple of my relatives, when I met them, they just picked it up and they said, how cute is this? And they asked me, should I go for that? And I tell, yes, definitely you can go for it. In fact, my wife is actually using the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE, and I think so now I will buy this S23 for that one. So that way, I would say I was very happy with the overall performance of the Samsung Galaxy S23. And after a long time, at least in India, we are getting a great compact flagship. Anyways, if you have the Galaxy S23, would love to know your opinions. What do you feel about the same? Do let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.